Ready explore? JustProfessor here. Something gets shared 1,000,000 times and suddenly you think everyone believes it. You see a post, a video, a tweet, and it is extreme. It is shocking, it is outrageous, and it has millions of views. Thousands of shares, tons of engagement. So you assume that opinion is popular, that most people agree with it, that this is what society thinks now. But it is not. Most people do not think that way. Most people never even saw it, but the algorithm showed it to you, over and over. Because extreme content performs well, it gets clicks. It gets shares, it gets attention, so it gets amplified. And amplification makes it seem common, makes it seem normal, makes it seem like everyone is talking about it. But they are not. A tiny fraction of people created it. A slightly larger fraction shared it. And the algorithm pushed it to millions who mostly just scrolled past. But you saw it. And because you saw it so much, you think it represents reality, but it does not. It represents what gets amplified. And what gets amplified is not what is normal. It is what is extreme. This is called viral amplification bias. And it is distorting your view of what people actually believe. Here is how it works. Social media algorithms do not show you what is typical. They show you what is engaging. And engaging means emotional, controversial, extreme, outrageous. Those things get reactions. And reactions mean the algorithm spreads them further. So a post that makes people angry gets seen by more people than a post that makes people nod. A video that shocks gets shared more than a video that informs. An opinion that is extreme gets amplified more than an opinion that is moderate. And because you keep seeing the extreme stuff, you start thinking it is common. That these wild opinions are everywhere. That society is full of people who think this way. But it is not. Society is full of normal people with normal opinions. But normal does not go viral, so you never see it. You only see the extremes. And the extremes make you think the world is more divided, more angry, more crazy than it actually is. This is why viral amplification bias is so dangerous. It makes you think fringe opinions are mainstream. It makes you think rare events are common. It makes you think the loudest voices represent everyone, but they do not. They just represent what algorithms amplify. And algorithms amplify whatever gets engagement, not whatever is true, not whatever is common, just whatever gets clicks. Most people think that if something goes viral, it must be important, it must matter, it must represent something real. But it does not. Going viral just means it triggered the algorithm. It got enough early engagement to get pushed to more people. And once it gets pushed, it keeps spreading. Not because everyone agrees with it, but because people engage with it. They argue with it, they share it to mock it. They comment to disagree. And every interaction tells the algorithm to spread it more, so the content gets amplified. Not because it is popular, but because it is polarizing. Think about what happens when you see viral content. You see someone saying something extreme, something you disagree with. And you think people actually believe this? How is this okay? Who are all these people agreeing with this? But here is the thing. Most people are not agreeing. Most people think it is extreme too. But the algorithm does not show you those people. It shows you the extreme post. And then it shows you more extreme responses. And then more, and you start thinking everyone is extreme. That the world is full of people with wild opinions. But it is not. You are just seeing the amplified version. The version the algorithm pushed because it gets engagement. The real world is quieter. More moderate. More reasonable. But that does not go viral. So you never see it. Or think about viral outrage. Something bad happens. And immediately there are posts about it, extreme posts. Calling for extreme actions. Getting millions of views. And you see them everywhere, so you think everyone is outraged. That this is the biggest issue in the world. That everyone is talking about it. But they are not. Most people are not even aware of it. And the ones who are aware are not as angry as the viral posts suggest. They are just living their lives. But you do not see them. You see the amplified outrage. An amplified outrage looks like everyone is furious. But it is not everyone. It is just the fraction that got amplified. This is what viral amplification bias does. It takes a small number of extreme voices and makes them look like the majority. It takes rare events and makes them look common. It takes fringe opinions and makes them look mainstream. And you fall for it because you see it constantly. And constant exposure makes things feel normal, even when they are not. Now think about how this shapes your worldview. You think society is more extreme than it is. You think people are more divided than they are. You think opinions you disagree with are more popular than they are. And all of that is because you are seeing the amplified version of reality. The version that gets pushed because it gets engagement. Not the version that is actually real. The actual version is boring. It is moderate. It is normal people with normal opinions living normal lives. But that does not get amplified, so you never see it. You only see the extremes, and the extremes make you think the world is falling apart. Or think about how this affects your sense of safety. You see viral videos of crimes, of violence, of danger. And you think the world is becoming more dangerous. That crime is everywhere, that you are not safe. But crime rates are not rising. They are often falling. But falling crime does not go viral. Shocking crime does. So you see the shocking crime over and over, and repeated exposure makes you think it is common. That it is happening everywhere. That it is the new normal. But it is not. It is rare. It just got amplified. And amplification makes rare things look common. This is the trap. Viral amplification bias makes you confuse visibility with frequency. You see something a lot, so you think it happens a lot. You see an opinion shared widely, so you think most people believe it. You see extreme content constantly, so you think extreme is normal. But visibility is not frequency. Visibility is what the algorithm chose to show you. And the algorithm does not care about accuracy. It cares about engagement. So it shows you the most extreme, most emotional, most outrageous stuff. And you think that stuff represents reality. But it does not. It represents what performs well on social media. And performance is not the same as truth. And here's the worst part. Once you believe the amplified version is real, you change your behavior. You think everyone is extreme, so you become more extreme. You think people are more divided, so you become more divided. You think the world is more dangerous, so you become more afraid. And none of it is based on reality. It is based on what went viral, on what got amplified, on what the algorithm pushed because it got clicks. You let viral content shape your worldview, and your worldview is now distorted. This means viral amplification bias is not just about being misinformed. It is about living in a distorted reality. A reality where extremes feel normal, where fringe opinions feel mainstream, where rare events feel common. And you do not even realize it is distorted. Because everyone around you is seeing the same amplified content. So you all think the distortion is real. You all think this is what the world is like. But it is not. The world is quieter, calmer, more moderate, more reasonable. You just do not see that version. Because that version does not get amplified. So here's what you need to understand. Viral content is not a reflection of reality. It is a reflection of what algorithms amplify. And algorithms amplify extremes. So if you base your worldview on what goes viral, your worldview will be extreme. It will be distorted. It will make you think the world is worse than it is. That people are crazier than they are. That society is more broken than it is. And none of it is true. It is just what gets engagements. Stop letting viral content define your reality. Stop assuming that what you see online represents what most people think. Stop believing that extreme opinions are common just because they get shared. They are not common, they are just amplified. And amplified is not the same as normal, it is just loud. And loud is not the same as right, or true, or representative. Viral amplification bias tells you that if something goes viral, it matters. But it does not, it just got clicks, and clicks do not equal truth. They equal engagement. And engagement is not a measure of accuracy. It is a measure of emotion, so stop trusting virality. Stop thinking amplification equals importance. And start recognizing that what you see online is not what is real. It is just what performed well. And performance is a terrible way to measure reality. Subscribe if you want to see past the distortions social media creates.